turned off here at Taung. I wanted to tell a story. We had a hell of an ordeal here yesterday. Me and my son wanted to come and fish here yesterday, and yeah, we were trying to explore a new road that I'd seen on Google Maps. I knew it was going to be rough and overgrown, but yeah, and it ended up, you'll see on the video, it ended up being a dead end. You couldn't make it all the way down to the water. But something interesting that happened on the way, my Land Cruiser broke a bracket on the radiator, and only on the one side luckily, and the radiator dropped just a few degrees off angle and fell and hit on the power steering or the steering box of the vehicle on the right hand side, on the driver's side. So yeah, the pipe pulled out at the bottom of the radiator, and I could smell the water immediately. I could get that antifreeze hot water smell immediately in the vehicle, and then I said to my son, something's wrong. And not long after that, the vehicle started heating up. So luckily we immediately could stop. Found the problem, tied down the radiator with some tie down straps and zip ties, and yeah, that fixed it, and I put the pipe back on without any problems. But then we didn't have any water. We were far away from the dam still, on a very overgrown little pathway similar to the one I'm on now, and we had no water. So we took all the water we had. We had a jug of drinking water, maybe a liter or so. We emptied that into the radiator, and then we had a cooler box with some ice in, so we drained all the water from the cooler box that we could and put that into the radiator. I even tried sucking out some of the water that was in the reservoir on the side of the radiator. That's sort of the overflow reservoir for the radiator. So I sucked out some water out of that and got it into the into the radiator. And then a cattle herder walked up. He was tending to his goats and cattle there, and I asked him, and he said, yeah, he lives close by, he might go get us some water. So he walked back the way that he came from, and anyway, we got a fair amount of water in there, but not enough. And then I thought, well, the cattle herder went in that direction, and that's the only way we could go. We'd never make it back out again. We have to go closer to the water so we can get water in the radiator. So I started up the vehicle and just slowly drove it, and then every time I hit the downhill, I would let the vehicle free down this downhill and switch it off, because it was running hot still. And then after a little while, we came up on the cattle herder, and he was walking with a little paint bucket, 5-liter paint bucket full of clean water. So that saved us. That guy really helped us out a bunch. So we filled up the radiator as far as we could with that, and then we drove a little ways on and realized that road was a dead end. So we asked the people that we met on the road, can we drive down to the water? And they said yes, but a lot of these rural people will say yes, and yeah, and it's not the case. We could get close, but we never could get down to the water close enough where we could launch a kayak or something to fish. And we could have walked down, but I didn't want to leave my vehicle out there. So anyway, long story, but yeah. So then we turned around and went to fish on another spot that we knew the road, we could make it down. That's the road I'm on right now as well. So yeah, what an ordeal. So yeah, the vehicle's drivable. I'm driving it today. Still got the radiator tied down with cable ties and zip ties, and yeah, but it's working. So it'll go to the mechanic tomorrow. They're going to do some stuff to it anyway. We need to fix up that radiator, and then we're going to pack the bearings at the front, check oils on the diffs, and all that stuff is going to be done. There's a problem with the brakes at the back, brake drum for the handbrake that's got to be fixed. So yeah, anyway, the vehicle's got to go in anyway, but now it's just an extra thing to fix. But yeah, what a story. Oh, and another thing that I forgot to mention is we we drained all the water from the window washer reservoir. So I had my son sit in the front and just pull it so it will pump, and then I unplugged the pipe at the front and then filled up a jug and kept pouring the water over into the radiator. That also helped a whole bunch. So yeah, if you're ever in a tight spot and you need water in your radiator, get the water from the window washer. Mine had a little bit of soap in, so it's all bubbly and foamy and stuff, but anyway, we'll drain it tomorrow and put new antifreeze and everything into the system. But yeah, for today it's fine. So anyway, that's what we did. It was quite a story. So yeah, but the vehicle's back up running. I'm going to try and fish today off the kayak a little bit. The weather is nice, there's almost no wind. I can see the dam here on my right hand side. It looks pretty calm. So anyway, I'll show some video of the breakdown. People say Land Cruisers don't break down or Toyotas don't break down. Yeah, they do, especially if you have to buy a second-hand one like I have to buy. Can't buy a new one, so buy a second-hand one. And then, yeah, at some point I think somebody must have taken out that radiator and did something with it or something, but there's supposed to be 4 bolts that hold up the bracket, and this one only has 2 at the top. So that's why that bracket broke. It's because the 2 bottom bolts were never put back whenever they did something to the radiator. It is the joy of having second-hand vehicles, is you always find these little things that was done to vehicles and not fixed properly, and then yeah, then you end up with a broken radiator in the middle of the bushes and you've got to deal with it. Anyway, a little bit of adventure, but I'm almost down to the dam. It's time to do some fishing. Well, was het getry?
En gefail.
Ja, mens gebeur. Ja, wel, dit is soos om op die edit omdraai, maar die kruks is ons het probeer. Nou weet ons daai pad loop dood. Hy stop daar.
Ek dink ons moes al lank al gedink het, hy sou stop wanneer die bos van so gegaan het na so gegaan het.
Ja, maar daai stuk wat weggespoel het daar af na die water toe, dis op my toe gegroei, want niemand ry meer daar nie, want hy's net gespoel.
Wil moet ons hom net aanstop.
Ja, ons moet net 'n kettingsaag bring en hom opsny.